Chess is a game that I've always played. I was taught to play chess at a very young age, and it's a game of concentration. It's a game where you have to be fully focused, and from afar it might look like it's a very boring game, but that's really far from the truth. It's a game where you have to be numerous moves ahead of your opponent to win. In today's world, there's so much going on, there's so much stimuli that's taking our attention, and I thought of what could be something that could help players concentrate and really focus, because football's a game of focus and concentration. The minute you lose concentration, your opponent could kick a goal on you, or you could lose an important contest, and it could really be of detriment to the team. So I thought by bringing a chessboard into the football club and starting that up would be a really good way for us to develop that concentration, which is crucial. There's a few players, someone like Brodie Grundy, who I play a lot with whenever we're here at the club, and it's really great to see. He went from not being able to play chess to now being brilliant at chess, and there is definitely a transfer into on-the-field performance with how well you can focus and concentrate. That's two stalemates, but no, good work.
That was a good one.
I think the group has responded in a really positive way. We're always going to find challenges, and the last 5 or 6 weeks has been really challenging in regards to results, but there has been a lot of progress made this year, and it continues to be made, and you never stop learning. Learning is not just something for the younger players. We're all learning. Bucks is learning in his role, as are the coaching staff, and our senior players are learning as well. So everything has provided opportunities for us to move forward and progress. We've got a lot of maturity from players that have been around for a while and have stepped up into leadership roles. The young players that we've drafted in, and the first development group, what they're able to do in terms of fast-tracking their development on the field but also off the field is huge, something I haven't seen before. And it's because of the infrastructure that we have here, and we're fortunate enough to have at the Westpac Centre. So for Sunday's game, we're very clear about what we need to do to be able to get a result. Last week was extremely disappointing in that we ticked off a lot of the things that we wanted to do, but we didn't get the result. So we know that if we can patch up a few things that we've addressed during the week, and we've trained up to this point and done so successfully, that we'll do enough to be able to ensure that we give ourselves the best chance at winning.
Feeling actually? Yeah, right, mate. A bit overwhelmed, but yeah, good experience, mate. Enjoy it, mate. Thanks, buddy. It's overwhelming, mate. The support over the last 3 weeks has been unbelievable, so just big thank you out there to all the Collingwood supporters. I wouldn't change anything I've done. I've sort of thrown everything into it, and yeah, it's just great to get recognition from the club and from all the supporters. Big congrats to TA. We're out for him that he gets to play his first game, but more than all of that and more than just what just happened, we need to win the game of footy because we want to play finals, and we need to win to make sure we do.
It's a very simple equation for the Pies. Win, and 8th spot is theirs again. Form is the big problem though. Just one win from their last 6 matches.
Good flat clear. Elliott is away. A one-on-one inside 50. Cloak. Carlisle back to the ball. Cloak at position 1A from the outset.
Into
towards Reid and Cloak. They're both there. Right. Cloak out the back, kicks the goal. Reid, that was wonderful. I mean, that was just a courageous grab. Side bottom, breaks free, parts the seas, hammers at goalward, kicks an absolute ripper. Another one to Lumumba. Heredia outside 50, towards Cloak. Got a hand to it, but that was all in the back. But it doesn't matter because side bottom is there. And that should do it. Huge roar from the Collingwood faithful. And is Collingwood picking up the pieces for a big finish to 2014? 4 weeks of footy left. And a massive 4 weeks to come against teams in the next 3 weeks, all below them on the ladder. And they're inside the top 8 tonight. 11-10-76 to 10-10-70.
We knew it was such an important game, and we knew our destiny's in our hands from here on in, so every game's like a final and we treated it that way, and everyone performed, so yeah, everyone's sort of up and about, and you know, just happy to be back in the winner's circle.
Good job, mate. All right, good job. Really pleasing win. I think, you know, towards the end there it was a real battle, and they were coming pretty hard. You know, I think we controlled early in the last quarter, and then last sort of 4 or 5 minutes they were coming home pretty hard. So it was good to hang on, and I think it was something we've been building from the Adelaide game. I thought we played some pretty decent footy against the Crows, but couldn't get the result. You know, today it's sort of come together that little bit better and got the win, obviously, so it was good.
I guess, you know, it shows that when we play the way that we want to play for 4 full quarters, you come away with a win. And, you know, Port Adelaide are a really good side, so we knew we had to do it for 100% of the time. So that just gives us a lot of faith in our structures and our game plan. So going forward, we'll just try to keep on doing that.
Well, we're actually on the stage here at Wicked the Musical at the beautiful Regent Theatre, as you can see. So yeah, it's actually work lighting, but this is my office, if you will. So yeah, I'm up here every night and I'm working and I'm singing and I'm dancing and acting, but what a lot of people probably don't know about me is that I'm a mad Collingwood supporter. Actually, that's a lie. A lot of people know that about me because I advertise it a lot. Well, here we are, we're backstage. This is my dressing room. It's pretty colourful. You know, I spend a lot of time in here, so let's go and check it out. I got a bit of, got some cozies in here. We've got some Collingwood bits and pieces. It's hard, you know, I can't go to a lot of games, but, you know, I'm an avid supporter, and every day that we play, whether, you know, whatever day it is, I'm in here in warm-up in my jersey and, you know, flaunting around in the black and white. I've got my scarf here. I wear this pretty much every time that we're playing on the weekend. I wear it through the theatre. And I also wear it outside too, especially if the boys are playing well or if we've won. So everybody at Stage that wants autographs and photos, they get a bit of black and white in the background. I've got a Premiership 1990 port here, which I didn't really drink because I was 8 when we got that. Growing up as a kid, I used to stick just wooden planks in the ground and used to try and kick like Peter Dacos used to kick goals. But back then the numbers were too big and I couldn't fit 35 on my back. There's a little grommy here. I was only 2 then, so they started me at a young age. My brother had my 21st and his 21st at the Collingwood Social Club out at Victoria Park. So we rented out that room, much to the distaste of the rest of the family. At the moment, I've got Jamie Elliott's number on my back. I love the way Jamie plays. You know, he's got a lot of emotion invested in it due to, which I learnt from watching him on the club, the episode that was on Jamie. And I love what he plays for and what he stands for, and I love that it's just about the game. And he's an exciting player to watch. We've got me at some old school Oz kick. You can see there, going a Fitzroy outfit. That's me there, turning my head around with a good little, cool little pout. Who would have known I'd be in the theatre with a pout like that? Thinking of teams and things like that, it's really similar to theatre, believe it or not. It's there's a lot of camaraderie out there on the field, which there has to be, and there is here as well. We have our own leadership group, we have our heads of department, we have our dance captains and things like that keep us in a tight knit. It's funny how a game, and it's just a game, it's just a show, it's just what we do. But it has such an impact on our lives through the whole season. It means a lot to me in that I can get an outlet from it, and I can get a sense of, wanting something more than maybe a gig on stage. And, it's disappointing when Collingwood doesn't win. It's hard to move on from every weekend. You don't want to come home and read the papers because the media is going to be down the throats about this, this and this. So for me, it means a lot. And, when you talk about people like my mother, who are just, she's a Legends member and has been and got awarded, lifetime membership, and she's part of the coterie group and everything like that. She bases her entire season and social calendar around where the Collingwood are playing. So I think a lot of people in the family have had frustrations over the years, but it's now a thing where if you book an engagement party or you book a wedding or something, make sure you check the fixture. So it means a lot to us in the Danielson family, and it always has, and it probably always will. I can't see us ever flailing from the black and white, that's for sure.
I've had a long history of being involved with Collingwood. I was born in Preston, moved out of Melbourne when I was 3, so the whole family involvement, always been a Collingwood supporter. When I was doing well in Ironman races and stuff, I came and presented Copeland trophies and all that sort of stuff for years, so I've always been in and around the club.
Smith, he's off, he's in a hole, Hendy gets a run, Hendy will back him on the run, Smith comes back, one of the side by side, Hendy thinks he's got it, Trevor Hendy thinks he's got it, he's gone up in the air, look at this, look at the man, he's won 20 odd medals, and this one's very special to him, Trevor Hendy, what a champion.
But literally what I've worked on for years myself is more of a holistic approach to success. Because I've sort of trained in that area and qualified myself as a counsellor, clearer, facilitator, all that, since about 1998, really intensely, I just saw the pies and actually put my hand up and said I'd love to help out. Is there any areas I can help? And the first area I came in was to work with Bucks, the coach, and with Purdy, the CEO. My passion is around culture, but in a different way, how to create relationships where you win, and you continue to win, but you win in a really powerful, connected together way.
Hendy had already won the first 3 Uncle Toby's Super Series titles, but even he hadn't dominated like this before.
Winner round 3 of the Uncle Toby's Super Series, Trevor Hendy, a spectacular performance.
His background in sport is at the pinnacle, of surf lifesaving, and was able to do it over a long period of time. So he understands high performance, he understands how to get the best out of yourself, but where he's moved into lately is more about understanding yourself as well as you possibly can, and how that impacts on the environment and other people around you as well.
My relationship with Bucks is probably infused by both of our passion. So we've intertwined for a few years and knew each other and met, and I'd seen him in the rooms and all that sort of stuff, and always wanted to back and support him, and knew that he was taking on a big role. It's been a big transition the last few years, and he wants to do it a certain way. When we first met, I chatted about what I know and understand and what I help with, and his eyes lit up because he went, that's the part that I need help with. They're like fantastic mates that are exploring something together and journeying through some different viewpoints, of how to be successful and how to get the best out of people. He's just the most passionate, driven, incredible, and people, the average sporting public wouldn't know it, and even Collingwood fans wouldn't know how big this man's heart is. He's really, really passionate. So that's a challenging thing when you care that much and you're literally under the pump and the results are on your back, he's learning to manage and walk through a really, really challenging environment.
Football's all-encompassing. It's a tough industry and it's unrelenting with the expectations, the pressures, the demands, scrutiny that comes on field or off field. But one thing we're trying to reinforce to our players and to our staff and to anyone that's involved with the footy club is that to get the best out of your football or your sporting endeavours, you need to actually have really strong balance in your life.
Even from a footy team perspective, so what I bring is absolutely go and be the best. Be the best you can be, find the best in yourself. And absolutely, you don't have to do it at the expense of everything, because in the middle of that, I learnt how to do both. We see a lot in the AFL. We see the players finish and have all sorts of personal problems. All they know themselves is as a footballer. It's a real problem. They just know themselves as a footballer. We all prop them up as footballers. We do everything to teach them that they're footballers, and then when they finish football, what am I? The really good clubs like Collingwood and some of the other clubs, they're very professional and very good at actually bridging those people into somewhere else. But the norm is that the person still has to go through a bit of a psychological letdown. So halfway through, I want to say, you're not a footballer, you're a human being who loves football. This is Collingwood's statement to say emotional intelligence is really important to us. The well-being and the welfare of our players, our staff, people behind the cleaner, the boot, everybody is really important to us. And every organisation, when they start that, there's a bit of a journey about how to fully and personally do that. I'm just coming to add a little piece to the family and doing the best I can that makes that difference. But it's a huge statement to the world to say this is important.
Yeah, round one, 1987, my one and only game for Collingwood. It was a bit of a shock to be picked, and with Lee Matthews coaching, it was exciting. I debuted with a number of under-19 players and also some recruits that came across. So I think I had Gavin Brown from South Australia. I think we had Mickey Christian. There would have been a few others, I'd say. So it was a very, very new side to Collingwood. I think it was the start of the building block before their 1990 premiership assault. I did have a role that day, had to try and curtail Barry Mitchell. Lee rang me up on the Friday and said that was my role. And I went there with a little bit of apprehension, but tried to do my job the best I could. I managed to play the whole 4 quarters without being rested. From a game perspective, whether it was good or whether it was bad, I suppose it was deemed I didn't get picked the following week. So from my perspective, it was bad. So this is my game day jumper from that fateful day. A bit of memorabilia for me, but also I hold it dearly because it is something that I did work hard for at the time, so I hold it close to my heart, and that's why I made sure I've kept onto it, so that it reminds me of the days and the hard work that I actually had to put in. It is a part of what I've done and a part of, I suppose, my history and a part of the club's history as well. So what I also have from the game, my wife, she also went to the game and she picked up a heap of memorabilia from the game. We have so tickets from the game. We also have my stats, the game out of the Herald Sun, the sides picked, and also the page of the record where you can see the guys that I played with. It happened to be David Cloke's 250th game, if I remember rightly, and there's pictures of Clokey about to go through the banner there. At least I got my name in the centre against Greg Williams, so it's something I can show people, even though I may not have played there. Every now and again, probably every 10 years, I pull it out and have a bit of a look through, and it's good to just remember those days. If I had my time over again, I would have probably soaked it in a little bit more, but I was probably a little bit petrified. I then got a little bit frustrated with myself, and I probably didn't stick it out. I probably should have stuck it out. You see the amount of effort that goes into the AFL footballers these days, and back then we probably weren't as committed. I know a few were, and I know I wasn't as committed as I should have been, and I suppose you reap what you sow. Yeah, so the only club pictures I've got, unfortunately, is from the 88 year, but having said that, here I am here. Notice I'm sporting a late 80s mullet. There's a lot of famous people through that 88 year that went on and played, the 1990 premiership from there on. I was asked, do I ever have any regrets, or should that have been you up there? And no, I didn't make it. I didn't probably put in enough. Do I have regrets about not being in the side? Oh, definitely. Definitely about not sticking it out. I was wrapped for the guys. They were like brothers to me. See them run out and to beat us and win a flag after so many years was fantastic for the club and for them. So August 27th, I've got an invite to the gala, Collingwood Forever Gala event, which is fantastic. I didn't think I'd be privileged enough to get one, and I did. It's going to be a great night, catching up with a lot of guys who I haven't seen for a few years. There's a lot of guys that I catch up with in the past, players, and there's a lot of guys that I haven't caught up with that either can't get there or haven't been able to become members for whatever reason, and so I get to catch up with them. And hopefully also a few newer players that I can get introduced to and maybe have a chat to as well and pick their brain.
Yeah, it's a great initiative from Collingwood Forever to put this commemorative Guernsey together with every player that's played a game from 1892 up until 2013. Representing such a rich history that is associated with Collingwood, and obviously growing up being a massive Collingwood supporter, it would be a great honour to pull this jumper on. It's great that my family's featured on here with my great-grandfather Jim Sharp, who had such a great history with his club, being the president and a past player, and it'd be great to represent him in round 23. It's very cool that they're able to maintain the black and white stripes, as well as putting everyone's name that's played one game right up until the club champions, who have played 200, or Tony Shaw has played 300 and something games. What are you doing? No one's going to see the number. It actually suits me. Do you want to switch?
You ask.
Do you want to switch?
You ask everyone.
Would you switch? Next year, 40 for 10. You ruined it. I don't know if I've got that in me again.
I love being a member of the Magpie Army.
Because I'm part of one of the biggest sporting clubs in the world. I love sharing my dreams.
There's over 1 million others that bleed black and white like me.
And it's in my blood.
This jumper makes me feel 10 feet tall. A packed MCG every week.
Collingwood domination, envy of the nation.